Lately, I've been going into the vault. Like, I am someone who just automatically always seeks new. Like, I want to seek new experiences. I want to seek new information. I want to find things online. I want to travel to new places. And I've invited myself to kind of just take a breath and think about what experiences have I already had in this lifetime that I can revisit and learn from and draw wisdom from. As I was like jogging down memory lane, I brought myself back to when I first bought a 1985 Westfalia Vanagon. If you don't know what a Vanagon is, these are these like old surf vans. I mean, that's kind of the West Coast thing. You can have them anywhere, but they're notoriously kind of surf mobiles out here on the West Coast in California. I made this crazy decision to invest in this old 1985 Westfalia Vanagon that has like a pop-up top where you can camp. It's 2 layers. You pop it up. There's like a bunk bed on top. It had a propane working stove, a little refrigerator, a sink with running water. Like, it was crazy. And one of the reasons that I loved the van, which I named Salted Carmela, was because the van invited me to seriously slow down. I decided to actually pause for this part of the story and slow down. I have one speed, and it's go fast. And I don't really slow down. I don't really do slow. And I don't think that I should have a badge of honor for that. It's actually something I'm working on. But it's just kind of how my operating system works. So this 1985 van really invited me to slow down because it couldn't really go over 55 miles per hour. So when you're on the freeway in Los Angeles and everyone's going 80, you're in the slow lane and you're accepting that you will never be going as fast, and you might feel embarrassed or like you're slowing people down, but you get used to it really quickly that that's just as fast as you can go. So you're gonna be courteous and you're gonna stay in the slow lane and you're gonna enjoy the ride. And people are waving at you and they're giving you a thumbs up and they're giving you like peace signs and they're giving you shakas for like surf. And it's fun and it's fine to be at that speed. You don't have to be going 85 miles an hour all the time, keeping up with everyone else. And I started to have this realization that like it was okay for me to slow down, and maybe I needed to slow down a little bit. And maybe this surfmobile came into my life at the perfect time because I simply needed a force slowdown because I wasn't going to do it on my own. I literally wasn't. And I go back, even though I don't own that van anymore and it was kind of bittersweet to sell it, although it was the right thing to do in that moment. I go back to that often as a reminder when I know that I need to slow down, because that was a, massive physical representation and machine that would like only let me go so fast on the speedometer. But when I'm not in my van driving and I'm just in my life, driving my life at a crazy, insane speed, I don't have the van to remind me like, Stacey, nope, you actually can't go any faster. I have to remind myself. And that's so much more work than a physical thing keeping me in place, keeping me in check. I have to keep myself in check. So I often in my mind revisit that experience, that van. I visualize myself in the van, shifting gears, because of course it was a manual, and like what speed I was going and how fast or how slow I was going. And sometimes we get a little carried away at the pace at which we are moving, especially as caregivers. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get all this done and I got to do this and I got to do this. And Chad's kind of like, Stacey, you don't have to get all that done today. And I just put this insane pressure and stress and anxiety on myself that I need to be doing all these things. And I'm pretty good at time management, but as a caregiver, everything is expedited. And cancer invites you. I never say cancer makes me feel, because I'm the only one that's making me feel a certain way. But I feel like when you're navigating cancer, there's just a sense of urgency that will not quit unless you tell it to quit, unless you can find some semblance of steady and like balance. I don't usually use that word balance because I don't really think it's a thing. But Cancer will always have you go 0 to 60 every morning, every day, every hour of the day, because there's always a sense of urgency, and only you can ground yourself in the fact that this is what it is. It's not going to change if I do this task or don't do this task. It's not going to influence Cancer's path. So I'm going to keep myself steady. I'm going to keep my energy steady for Chad so he doesn't feel that sense of urgency or overwhelm, because I can control my own emotions, and it does. Energy spills over onto each other in your house, in your life, in your marriage. And that has been my biggest thing, is just keep yourself steady for yourself and for your husband. That is a gift you can give to yourself and to Chad. So today I want you just to think about, if you don't know what a Vanagon is, just Google 1985 Westfalia Vanagon. It'll come up. Get a visual of it, get a picture of it, and picture yourself, if you are like me, just inviting yourself to slow down, to try to enjoy the ride a little bit, and to know that everything's going to be okay at that speed you're going today. And maybe, I love when I have these like physical visual representations, I love to just like sketch out, and I'm a terrible artist, so just sketch out a little van or a little car or something at the top of your notebook. What does your own version of speed look like today? Is that sustainable for you? That's the bigger question. Is the speed at which you are going sustainable for you? Happy writing.